The US Senate passed the vote. The Chinese stocks will be delisted. What's next? In this video, I will be covering all the good and the bad news about this vote passing, so you can make your own opinion. The information presented in my videos are fully honest, and they will not be sugar-coated, and I only give you research, no BS. All of this required hours of research, leaving with all the important facts and conclusions listed in a matter of minutes. So I would really appreciate if you would stick around and decide for yourself if I deserve your like and subscribe. What is up, you guys? Chippy here. I do the research and news of a company and let you decide if the company is worth buying or not. If you're interested in more videos like this, then I suggest you subscribe to the channel right now, since I will be posting 5 times a week. Now let's get right into it. If you took a break from the news of trading, then you probably missed the fact that the Chinese stocks might get delisted due to the fact that they are not fully transparent with the US, therefore not respecting the audit rules of the stock market. They've been asked to comply to their rules, full transparency, or leave US markets altogether. And of course they did not really comply, and therefore US was forced to have a vote regarding the legislation that requires the SEC to prohibit and delist the securities of any foreign company whose public accounting firm cannot be inspected by the Public Company Accounting Oversight Board. And the vote did went through.
Gentleman from Missouri yields back. The question is, will the House suspend the rules and pass Senate 945? Those in favor say aye. Those opposed say no. In the opinion of the chair, 2/3 being the affirmative, the rules are suspended. The bill is passed, and without objection, the motion reconsidered is laid on the table.
So what happens next? What's going to happen now? I usually get straight to the point in my videos and then get to the extra details later in the video. But there is more to talk about here, so if you really want to find out every side of this, then I suggest you stick around and watch till the end. Because I'm going to be presenting the good news and the bad news. So keep on watching, I will make your time worthwhile. Getting straight to the point, if you ask me, United States did good. But this video won't be about politics. It will be about the future of NIO stock and any other Chinese stocks. That said, let's get right into it. There are good and bad news about this. And I would like to talk about the worst case scenario first, where the Chinese companies will fold your shares from the New York Stock Exchange into the Hong Kong Stock Exchange. So no one will lose their shares. But there's a big but here. China has 3 years to move their stocks into the Hong Kong Stock Exchange, meaning that they have 3 years to find a way to settle with the US, and I believe that the US intentions were these all along, to get an advantage over China. More about this in the good news sector. There are not many bad news about this, to be honest. As a Chinese stockholder, I'm actually happy this is happening, even with NIO going down 4% in the aftermarket as we speak, and Alibaba apparently is green in the aftermarket. So yeah, now let me give you reasons of why I think this deal will actually not go through. The first one being one word: Joe Biden. Now jokes aside, even though I do mean that, Wall Street firms have made $1.4 billion in fees underwriting these banks. Many US pension funds own a lot of Chinese stocks, so nobody would want to touch that. And the most important one being that the counsel Dan Golzer thinks this is a way for the US government to gain leverage in the future negotiations, indicating that they are not expecting to go through with it, but rather to use it to get a reasonable accommodation from China. And I believe he is right, and if he is, this is not good news. This is extremely good news. We all know how much Chinese stocks grew, and admitting it or not, China is pretty powerful. And that's why US had to do something about it, which to me seems like the right thing. Doing this to China would only put China in a better place and a safer place overall, bringing more skeptical investors in. Something else to keep in mind is that back in May this year, the Senate passed this resolution again, making the Chinese stocks slightly crash. But they later dropped it, and that made the stocks rally up till this date. I'm talking about the Chinese stocks. Of course, not with that being the only reason. I usually do the research, and you form your own opinion of my research. But I feel like I can give a good prediction of what will happen next. So there you go. There are 3 ways this can go. It would actually pass, or it can get declined. If it does pass, we can only find out in 3 years. So the actual drop we will see, it will be in the 2.5 to 3 years. If even then. So I will not worry about this too much, and I'll be buying the dips if they even dip. And the second way is that the vote will be cancelled by Biden, making the Chinese stock simply go up again. There is really not much to say here, as I said. That's it, guys. Thank you so much for being here with me today. If you found this video helpful, I would really appreciate you hitting that like button. And if you're interested in more videos about stocks and news, then subscribe to the channel, and don't forget guys, invest smart and be patient.